Hey guys, what's up? It's JR Cuber, and this is my full review of the Yuxin 4x4, which is the latest and most interesting 4x4 to hit the market from a really unknown brand. So let's see how well it stacks up to the other big 4x4s on the market. So the Yuxin 4x4 is one of the most interesting 4x4s I've really seen recently. It's only 14 bucks on the Cubicle, which is just super cheap compared to the Aosu. It's also got some really interesting stickers, which had a completely matte finish, and while I didn't really like them, and I did replace them, it's just something different to see, and something worth noting. Also, the cube is just a standard 62mm, if anyone was wondering. Anyway, when I first saw this cube, I was really interested in how it would compare to the Aosu, and I was actually really surprised. It's super fast, and has these very subtle bumps when you turn it, and it's just really satisfying to turn. Some have said the inner layers were a lot slower than the outer layers, but I haven't had any problems with speed on mine. Although I do have a tension on the looser side, I think it's all about how you lube it. I just used a generous amount of weight 4 from the Cubicle and broke it in a lot. Something I did find is that this cube had a much longer break-in time than the Aosu. When I first unboxed the Aosu, I found that it was almost speed cubable with just a bit of tensioning out of the box. The Yuxin, on the other hand, was super fast, which is not always a good thing, and it had awful corner cutting, and was really dry too. I would guess that I've done maybe 200 or so solves on this cube, and it just seems like it keeps improving. The corner cutting is really great. It can cut normally about a piece really easily, and reverses about 3/4 of a piece, which honestly is some of the best reverse on any 4x4. The corner cutting doesn't always prevent those locks though, and they still happen. But something I find interesting is that most of the catching is actually internal. The internal edges have these really big torpedoes that catch against each other, which actually produces a feel similar to the center catches of a V-Cube 4 if you've ever tried one of those. The torpedoes are actually what cause the slight bumpy feel as well. Setting the torpedoes could reduce the catching, but it also could potentially reduce stability. And yeah, the stability of this cube is fantastic. The anti-popping of the Yuxin is okay. I do get some pops, but really no more than any other 4x4s. The mechanism to me is really fascinating though. It's a very simple design with no bells or whistles or anything. It once again shows how a simple mechanism can result in an amazing cube. So overall, the Yuxin 4x4 is a really solid cube. I personally love it. The feel is fantastic and the corner cutting is super amazing. It doesn't really lock except for those small internal catches, and the popping hasn't really been much of a problem overall. While people's main problem with this cube has surprisingly been the slowness of the inner layers, among other small issues, I've basically had no problems with the Yuxin. So I'll give it a 9 out of 10, just losing that 1 point for the small catches and the slight pops. It's definitely not perfect, but it's good enough to take the place of my Aosu as my main 4x4. It's also half the price of the Aosu, which is always a plus. So if you would like to buy it, the link will be in the description as always, but of course don't just take my opinion. Watch a bunch of other reviews before you go and buy it, just to make sure it's a good fit for you. And that's about all I can say on the Yuxin 4x4. So if you like this video, give it a like, and if you haven't already done so, like my Facebook page, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and of course subscribe. Thanks for watching guys, bye.